Hello Tokusatsu community and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at the SHODO Super J.A.K.Q Dengekitai set from the SHODO Super Premium Bandai toy line. This is the earliest team that has been done in this figure line. Before that, the earliest team that was done was Denjiman and Sun Vulcan, but now we have J.A.K.Q. We still don't have a Go Ranger, so almost could be the first team, but not quite. But this is really cool. Always been a fan of the J.A.K.Q sets, or of the teams, and all the suits. Love cards, I love playing solitaire and everything, so having all the different suits is really neat. Big one, iconic Sentai suit here. And yeah, it's just a really cool looking SHODO Super set. So, of course, as with any SHODO Super set, you get the entire team there on the front. On the top, you get the whole team there as well, with the J.A.K.Q logo. On this side, you get Big One. On the other side, you get the rest of the teams, so Spade Ace, J.A.K.Q, Heart Queen, and Clover King. On the back, you see what we got here. Now, J.A.K.Q never had like a ton of weapons or anything, but you do get all the ones that you would want from the individual weapons. And then you also get the cannon and everything. Big One, he gets the little rocket and his little baton. And then you just get a absolutely ridiculous amount of hands. Just an absurd amount. And then right here is the sticker guide sheet with the web instructions. There is no paper one in here. But yeah, so these sets are expensive. I think I got this one, what was it from? I think it was Nin Game I got it for like $80-ish. I don't think they have it in stock anymore. But going ahead and open it up here, which I've already opened it, but I have not put the set together. We get a ton of bags. So let's just dump everything out here. So first of all, here's the leader, Big One. So you get his cape, which is just a big rubber piece. And then Big One himself, looks like the only stickers he's really got going on is the one for the B there. Not too many stickers. In fact, where is the sticker sheet? Yeah, that's not too bad. This is all the stickers that we get in the J.A.K.Q set, which is still, what, 26 stickers? But compared to the amount of stickers that we had with, like, I'm still working through the Kyoryuger sets. There's 3 of those, and well over, like, 200 stickers between the 3 sets. So this is a lot more manageable. Just some stickers on the cannon pieces, like the big V, the belt buckles and such. So not too bad, nothing too crazy, just one sticker sheet. Whereas, oh, you do get the piece of candy. Can't forget that, because these are candy toys. Some big ones right there. Then we get our Red Ranger, Spade Ace. Looking pretty good. You get the little cape piece for him. You get his bow in different configurations, so that's pretty neat. J.A.K.Q, who's not wanting to look at the camera, but there he is. Clover King, it's that appropriate darker shade of green. And finally, Heart Queen, the only female on the team. Now we do get a bunch of hands. Here's all of the ones for J.A.K.Q, all the ones for Heart Queen, all the ones for Clover King. Or I said Heart Queen and King. I think I said King twice, but you know, Spade Aces. These ones are Big One's hands, and then you get all of the pieces, which I really like that it's here, of the J.A.K.Q cannon, including the little rocket. That's so fun. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and open all this, assemble the set, and we'll come back and take a look at the figures. Okay, so here's the fully assembled J.A.K.Q Dengekitai. I'm going to go ahead and start with J.A.K.Q here, so we can go in order of J.A.K.Q, and then we'll finish with Big One. So here is J.A.K.Q. Really like how these turned out. The only stickers that were on any of the figures was the Core 4 had the little cards that are on their arms and on their boots for a sticker, and then the J.A.K.Q buckle on the like belt buckle there was a sticker. Everything else was already on the figure out of the box. So the little J right there, tampographed on, all the paint there, all the paint on the belt buckle. Fantastic. I really am happy with how much paint these figures had. All of the helmets were fully painted, and I really like the detail they were able to capture with like the textured detail. I don't know how well you can really see it, but the textured detail to kind of create that sort of a Showa visor effect, I think is incredibly well done. So here is J.A.K.Q. I will say you'd had to put the capes on everybody, and they just clip on onto a little ball joint back there, so they are able to move. But I feel like, especially with Spade Ace, that was the first one I put together, his doesn't want to stay on very well. This one is holding on pretty good, but I feel like the capes don't like go fully flush with the shoulders, and that's kind of awkward looking to me. But they do also have that Tamashi port there. You could put these on Tamashi stands. And then if you're not familiar with SHODO Super Articulation, I'll just kind of show it off with him. It's the same with everybody, although Heart Queen's is a little limited by her skirt. But you get a ball joint here, all over the head. It can move all over the place. You get a joint there. There's a joint there. It's kind of hard to tell, but there's like a joint there and there. The figures can pop apart pretty easily. Don't really have to worry about candy toy figures like breaking. They can come apart pretty easily and still go back together. The arms rotate there, bend at the elbows. You get a astronomical amount of hands. I'll show you all the hands. I give everybody kind of just some default generic holding hands, but every member of this team comes with like at least, not even kidding, like 30 hands. I'll show them off. The boots don't rotate at the boots, but the feet rotate. You can rotate this. They actually do have drop down legs, which I thought was kind of impressive. But yeah, I'm really blown away by the amount of paint that's on here, like all the black outline paint, and it's really, really well done and captures these Showa era suits, I think, really perfectly, honestly. So there is J.A.K.Q, who, now that I've shown off the articulation, does not want to stand. But here is Spade Ace, the technical leader of J.A.K.Q. I mean, he is the Red Ranger, but you can kind of see it here a little bit better what I'm talking about, where that light captures on the blue there. Like, look at all the little dots on the visor. Like, I can't believe they actually went that far to do that. Like, it looks just incredible. It looks incredible. I really, really am happy. Like, J.A.K.Q's not my favorite suits by any means, but they are good suits, and I love the card motif that the team has. So there is Spade Ace, obviously pretty much just the same figure as J.A.K.Q, but in red with the appropriate changes. Here is Clover King, one of our darker green Rangers. We don't usually get this shade for green. I mean, these days we don't even really get green anymore. Once again, the Clover there is perfect. Clover King I always just think of as being the one that had a Candy Toy exclusive Ranger key back then. But very, very nice. Very happy with how he turned out. And then for the core team, the final member of the spelling of J.A.K.Q, we have Heart Queen. So obviously she has a different body mold, but still has all the same kind of paint, still has all the little dots in the visor there. The skirt doesn't really limit her articulation too badly. It's a pliable-ish plastic. It is very rubbery, but she, I think, still has the drop-down joint. It's kind of hard to... Yeah, she does. It's just kind of hard to tell. She had the same stickers as everybody, so these are all still painted on. It's still just the belt buckle and the cards on the boots and the arms. So I think she's done well. She's also one of those lighter pinks, and I think they captured that pretty good. And then for arguably, I wouldn't even say arguably, the most popular member of J.A.K.Q, the actual leader of the team, the first White Ranger in Super Sentai history, Big Juan. So here he is, very happy how this gay dude turned out. I mean, he's not gay, but just all the rainbows on him makes me always think gay. Very, very cool. I'm really blown away by the fact that there was only one sticker on this entire figure. Like, I would have definitely could have seen the rainbow patterns being stickers, but they weren't. Like, all of the rainbow patterns on the arms and the boots were painted on. The only sticker was the detail in the middle of his belt buckle. Like, the B itself, the outline was painted red. But the little one inside, oh my gosh, it's a 1. I just realized this belt buckle is B1, big 1. But yeah, the 1 inside, that was a sticker. Everything else was painted on. And the paint continues behind the cape. You can't even see that paint normally. I will say the big rubber capes, I mean, they're not, like, obviously the greatest for articulation and stuff, but they do the job. They're not, you know, they don't have, like, wire capes on these or anything like that. Helmet looks excellent. Once again, still has all those little dots there. Like, just the attention to detail is amazing. So, very happy with how the J.A.K.Q set turned out. Really hope we can get some Go Rangers to go with these guys, since there was a crossover between Go Ranger and J.A.K.Q back in the day. But now let's take a look at the accessories for J.A.K.Q Dengekitai. So I figured we'd go ahead and start with Spade Ace's accessories, so we'll just have him chilling there. So all the hands aside, which I'll put a picture up on the hands at the end, I'll show that off. You get all 3 versions of the Spade Arts, which is his bow weapon / whip weapon. They all had a sticker to go on the J part. One was different I believe the whip form here was a different sticker than the other two, but they look virtually the same, identical. They were a little bit of a pain to put on. As you can see, I didn't do like the most perfect job. One is still kind of showing a lot of the white right there. Kind of try to push against the plastic with my nail. Yeah, it's not the greatest sticker by any means, but you do get all three versions of his weapon. So here is the whip form of it, which is not focusing whatsoever. It's focusing on the figure. So there's the whip form of the spade arts, and then you get a like more pulled back bow and a less pulled back bow, I guess would be like the best way to describe that. And then of course I have some hands on here that should be able to hold this. I mean, there are some hands that are more specific, I think, that have more of a rectangular divot, so we can have Spade Ace holding that, and I think that looks really solid, so I can put him there. But yeah, you just get 3 spade arts for him, 1 sticker each, not too bad, and then of course a ton of hands. For J.A.K.Q here, you just get the J.A.K.Q sword, whose stickers are kind of peeling a little bit. There was just 2 stickers to make the blade on this, and that was it. Very simple sword, but you know, it's a simple team. This is the Showa era, literally the second Super Sentai series ever. So the weapons were not, you know, the most advanced things in the world. They didn't even make toys of these as far as I'm aware. So you just get a simple sword for J.A.K.Q, which I think just had 2 stickers to make the blade, and he looks good with that as well. So there is J.A.K.Q in his weapon. So in my opinion, Heart Queen has the worst weapon with her Heart Cute here, which is like, I don't really know what this is supposed to be. I know it's a big Q, but like, I don't really know. I have not seen J.A.K.Q. I will say that I have not ever seen the show, but I think it's just one of those weapons, you know, kind of like Momo Ranger had in Go Ranger, where it was just like not the most effective weapon. I feel like they just kind of gave the girls like a weapon sort of out of necessity, or sort of just out of because everyone else got it. But there's no stickers with her weapons at all. So, you know, technically she has the least amount of stickers to deal with in the whole set. Her hand popped off there. But you can have her hold that and do whatever with that weapon. But there it is. I think it's one of those things where, like, the weapon could do more attacks, but you can't really, like, translate that to the candy toys. But at least she has it, and no stickers is always a plus. Now, Clover King here actually has the most involved weapon, and that is the Club Megaton. Which is actually a whole new arm attachment. So you have this form of it, which has just 1 big sticker that goes along the entirety of it. And then in the show, he's able to split that up, kind of take the hand off of it. As you can kind of see here, you can clip them together. Now in the show, when he separates the hand, there's a chain in between. There's no chain. They didn't include a chain with this here in the SHODO Super. I don't really know how they could have done that. I mean, I get it that they didn't. But to do that, you just take off the whole like wrist piece here, and then slot this in like that. I hope I'm doing the correct hand. If I'm not, I'm sure all the comments will let me know. But you can do that, swap that out. Or the other hand, I think you can do both. So you have that weapon there. Or you can do, like I said, the one where it splits apart. But I don't really know how you could really pose that super well without the chain. So that you got whatever weapon is going on there with the Club Megaton. So definitely, I think the most unique weapon. Definitely probably the coolest one. Just not translated amazingly without a chain. But then finally, the most stickers on a weapon here was the Big Baton for Big One. So every little black line there with an individual sticker that wrapped around the whole baton, which definitely made it pretty reasonably annoying to deal with. But it does look good at the end here, so you can have him lead the J.A.K.Q. Put the baton in his hand there. There might be a hand that's more applicable for it. As you can see, it's not, you know, it's already trying to like fall to the bottom of the hand there. But you can have him have his little baton and lead the J.A.K.Q. Or lead the J.A.K.Q. in forming their team cannon, which is the Big Bomber. Alright, so to form the Big Bomber here, I wanted to go ahead and bring out the whole team holding their weapons. I love this piece. So here is the Big Bomber, one of the pieces of it. There's 1 big sticker that you just put on there. And then you get all of the wheels, or all of the wheels as if there's not just 2 of them. So you just have to take those, put them on there. They don't really spin. like they can rotate, but they don't really spin, if that makes sense. And then you have the giant cannon piece, which this was 3 pieces of this middle section, this section, and this section that you just clip in together. And then you can take the entire cannon. I really like this like Civil War era cannon that we had as a team weapon. Like, I just think it's funny. It can clip in there. It will stay in there. So there is the fully assembled big bomber. And then of course, kind of have all these accessories out in the way here. You also get, I'll go ahead and put this in front of the team here. You get the rocket for the big bomber, which had a ridiculous amount of stickers. You had like 2 stickers per little wing of the rocket there, and then these terrible stickers to wrap around there. Now there is a peg hole there because there is a hand, specifically that big one included, that has a peg hole for you to peg that in there. So if you want to do the whole pose of like each team member puts together a piece of the cannon and then big one brings in the rocket. Now the rocket can't really fit in the cannon because of that peg hole. It can kind of just rest there, but it can, you know, it can kind of just stay there and it's not gonna fall out or anything unless you like obviously are shaking it. Of course, like I said, there is a metric ton of hands on the screen right now. It's gonna be a picture of all the hands. Honestly, it's too many hands. There's like thumbs up hands and weapon holding hands and peg hole hands for the rockets and just all that stuff. All the hands, because I don't want to lose them, are sitting in my case here that has a bunch of SHODO Super Courier accessories. Those are all of the J.A.K.Q hands. So I don't feel like I need to show all of them off. I feel like you get the point of how many hands there are. But yeah, it's just a cool set that came out last year, and I'm happy that it does exist, and I'm happy that they did this. It kind of came out of left field completely for them to do J.A.K.Q. Like, there was no J.A.K.Q related media to tie it into or anything like that, but I am a big fan of the set. So let me know down in the comments below, do you have SHODO Super J.A.K.Q? Do you plan on getting it? What do you think of J.A.K.Q as a series? Any SHODO Super sets do you have? Let me know. And be sure to check out all my reviews on all the other ones. And if there's a review that's not there, it's because I either don't have the sets or haven't gotten to it yet. But I do intend on doing all of the sets eventually. So thank you all for watching. Of course, until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR and the other accounts here on the screen. And I will see you all later.